Hello and welcome back to our overhaul on the 1FZ-FE engine blown head gasket. Last night I did some more inspection and a few of my followers messaged me about my video, my past video. And I went ahead and re-inspect my head gasket and I found out that the head gasket was bad. Well, obviously. So I didn't notice this in the beginning when I first took it out. Maybe I was just too excited or whatever. But if we look at the head gasket, there was so right here, this was like this right here. It wasn't fully open like this yet. I did that, but there was that cut right there was already open. And I think this was the reason why it was leaking, because you can see right here. Give you guys a better. So right here was where, right there was where it was cut already. And then you can see over here where it lost all the deposit or the gasket right here. So I think coolant was coming from this jacket right here. And then maybe over here too. Because you can look here, this is all good. And then on sender 5, sender 5 was going out too. So it wasn't like this. It wasn't completely like this yet. I lifted up. It was starting to open up like this. And I lifted up last night to inspect it and notice that right there. So this is definitely a bad gasket. So I'm thinking it's just a gasket issue. No, nothing wrong with the head, nothing wrong with the crack or anything like that. So this is just what caused it right here. And yesterday I went ahead and cleaned it a little bit. I used my carbide scraper. I didn't went too crazy on it. This is a carbide scraper. It's a very sharp carbide. I just went ahead and cleaned some of the carbon off and some of the leftover gasket. I didn't go fully hard on it. That's not what you're supposed to do. But then the rest of it, I'm just gonna leave it to the machine shop. But other than that, guys, I'm confident that this head is still good. The only thing I'm really disappointed about this head is that I told you guys on the last video is that the exhaust studs are they've been rethreaded to a different size on the first intake, the first manifold. And then over here, this is good, and good. And then no, this one's not good. So this exhaust over here, this one's gonna need to be re-tapped. So hopefully I can tap that back to the same size. If I can't, then I'm gonna have to tap it to a bigger size and go from there. But other than that, it's good. I went and ordered a valve clamp so I can take out the valves and clean the valves and also put new valve stems, because inside's pretty gunked up. So we're gonna do the whole 9 yard, get it machined, get it clean, get it pressure checked, and then I'll just go ahead and do the valve stem myself. I think I should be able to tackle that myself. But this head's been flipped upside down for the last 10 hours, so hopefully all the oil is coming out. And then I think I'm just gonna go ahead and pressure wash it. I'm not sure if I should pressure wash it now or should I let my machine shop do the cleaning. I'm not sure what's best, but maybe they'll charge more if it's all dirty like this, and maybe they'll charge less if it's less dirty. So who knows? But it's pretty gunked up. You gotta put some degreaser and pressure wash it. But that's today's project. I also got my pressure washer running, so I went ahead and degreased the valve cover. It's still a little bit dirty, so I'm gonna go back and degrease it again and use a brush this time and just scrape it. We're not gonna paint it, even though I want to paint it. I just don't want to do it. We're gonna leave it the way it is. The thing about painting is that if you paint it and you want to clean it like with brake cleaner, like in the future, like let's say you want to spray your engine down with brake cleaner will actually bite the paint off, so it's kind of pointless. If you want to do like your valve cover all nice and pretty, the only way to do it really is to go full 9 yard and do powder coating. So I went ahead and removed the valve, the spark plug tube seals, and they were completely all hardened and cracked. So half of it came out. I still got to remove the rest of it. And what I'm gonna do is that I'm just gonna go ahead and heat them up, get my propane torch and heat them up and just pull them out. I tried using a screwdriver to pry them out and they would not come out, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. You can see that here. I didn't have any leaks right here on my spark plug tubes, but these are all hard and stuff, so They're probably, you know, old. So we'll go ahead and get the heat gun out or the torch and heat them up, pull them out, and then re-grease them again, degrease it again. I also got a lot of the parts cleaned up. So this is the tote of all the parts. Battery trays clean. Went ahead and degreased everything. Battery tray clean. The air filter is less than 1,000 miles on it, so we're gonna reuse that. This is also the Toyota one, washable. And then all my nuts and bolts, I have them labeled here. I'll probably go ahead and degrease these nuts and bolts. I went ahead and cleaned my injectors. Just a quick wipe down with acetone. So I wiped them down with acetone, and then I'm gonna have to spray, brake spray it, clean it a little bit more, and then also we'll go ahead and order new seals and stuff, the rubber seals and grommets for it. But everything's been cleaned up in the few injector rails. Everything's been degreased and brushed off, and all clean. I didn't wash this one. Didn't want to mess with this one. This one's still good. That's the top of the air filter unit. And all the coolant hose, all the coolant lines have been cleaned. I went and degreased the intake 2. This one's pretty hard, but no leaks and no tears, so we're gonna reuse that. So everything's good here. And then this is the air cleaner. Went ahead and degreased that, so that's good. Let that dry overnight. Make sure when you clean your air box, there's this little one here, and make sure you clean this little one too. This little one here usually captures all the small dirt and stuff, because you see right here, it falls into there. When I opened my Lexus, the one on my Lexus, it was completely filled with dust and dirt and all kind of critters in there. So everything's clean. And then the manifold, we'll go ahead and clean the manifold too. I'm just gonna go ahead and run a very fine sandpaper on the surface and then get that cleaned up. And then the stud for the downpipe, we'll go ahead and put a new one in there. I have a replacement already, but these manifolds are still good. Nothing wrong with them. So I think these are aftermarket too. I was looking at the paperwork when I bought my Land Cruiser, and it looks like the owner had receipts for Rock Auto, and it says manifold. So I think he bought these, or I think these are Dormans or something. So these aren't the original ones. Here's the fan. Went ahead and degreased the fan. This side's clean, but then this side's gonna need some more elbow grease. So I'll go ahead and degrease this again. My pressure washer wasn't fully working, so it wasn't fully on its strongest power. So I went and bought a new pressure washer gun, so it should be stronger now. And then also this fan clutch here. I think this fan clutch, it's ASIN. It's the Toyota one, but they have two different versions. The ASIN, which is the normal one, and then there's one that's ASIN where they modified it to be a stronger. I think it starts cooling faster at a certain degree. And the way that one is it's labeled with blue. So mine came with the blue one. And I was looking online, and I think I have that upgraded one. So mine isn't the stock one, because I compared this to my Toyota. I compared it to my Lexus one, and my Lexus one is just like typical aluminum. So I think this is an upgraded fan clutch. So the fan clutch is still good. We're going to reuse that. We'll go ahead and sand down that rust right there, and then go from there. So all good. I told you guys already, the radiator is still good, besides this nipple right here that goes to the coolant outlet. I seen people online where they cut this off and they re-thread it and put a nipple out. I might try to do that. If not, we'll just try and use whatever we can do. Still looks good. I'm gonna go ahead and flush it with water because it's super dirty inside, I bet, from all that head gasket stuff. If the budget allows, we'll go ahead and buy a new one. But again, parts is just expensive for 80 series. A new Denso one costs about $315 on Amazon. Because right now, as far as like pricing goes, you know, I always like to tell you guys like what things cost. Like right now, my head gasket parts, like the main parts to get my head gasket back together, it's running about almost $320. And then the ARP head studs like almost $160. And then the machine work, I'm gonna guess maybe anywhere from $250 to $500, depending. I'm assuming that's what the rates are right now. So when you look at that, you're almost like Yeah, 800. Let's say we're at least like $800 just in the main stuff already. So if we have budget, we'll go ahead and get a radiator. If not, then we'll just reuse the radiator for now and then maybe swap in the next year or something. So we'll see how that goes. I'll let you guys know how that goes, man. And then one of the other main important stuff is the intake plenum. The top, this is the top one. The lower intake is still on the vehicle because the wire harness is trapping it. So the plenums, they're super dirty. It's super gunked up. But I went ahead and sprayed some super clean. This is 100% super clean. I don't, when I'm doing like heavy duty degrease, I don't dilate it with water or anything like that. If you're using super clean to like clean like simple grease and stuff, you want to just put some water in it and mix it up. But I like to go full strength and just use straight up raw super clean. So it's been sitting for the last 20 minutes already, and I'm just gonna let this sit overnight, let it get working there, and then I'll go ahead and pressure wash this on another day. But you can see right there, it's super dirty inside. But like I said, just put some degreaser, and then if you have a pressure washer, once you pressure wash it and just blast it up with like 1000 psi water, all that gunk will come out really easy. And here's another quick look at the engine bay. Today is gonna be a day of just evaluating, and then we'll start cleaning. Right now it's just a matter of cleaning, inspecting stuff, and waiting. Haven't sent the sender head to the machine shop yet, but once we send it in, and it will just be a waiting game, matter of time until. During that time, I'll go ahead and use my carbide scraper and clean the head. I'll go ahead and clean the head hole, the head bolts hole. Go ahead and make sure all that's clean, and I'm gonna go ahead and clean the top of the cylinder head. Not the cylinder head, the top of the cylinders. I'm gonna use like acetone brake cleaner, and then we'll just go ahead and make sure we clean all of that. I'll go ahead and change out I pulled the front main seal already, and then I'll go ahead and do the oil pump seal as well. This right here is the oil cooler, they call it. It's a pretty big guy for an oil cooler when you compare it to a 3.4 motor. So we'll go ahead and open that up and then put new gaskets, clean all that stuff. It's not leaking or anything, but might as well do it. Because if you don't do it, and let's say later on it does start leaking, well, your exhaust manifold is going to be blocking it, and you have to remove all that. So might as well do it while we're in here. This right here is your oil pressure gauge. So make sure you don't break any of this stuff right here. They go like this. This wire goes right here. So if you guys get lost, it goes like that. So make sure we don't break that right there. But man, there's lots of room on this side here. I went ahead and unbolt those rear heater hose, rear heater copper wire, whatever that is. And then I'm gonna go to the bottom and cut as much as possible. We're deleting that. And then I still gotta figure out if I wanted to take out the lower manifold. It's right here. In order to do that, we have to remove all the wires on the bottom, or I wonder if I should remove the wire that goes to the ECU and then loop the intake this way. I think that might be an easier route, because if you do it from the bottom, there's wires that go through the transmission and all that stuff, and it's just really crowded down there between the firewall. So I might try to go from the ECU. If I don't go that way, then I might just try to wash this plenum by hand. And what I'll do is I'll just get like I'll get a trash bag and cover the block right here so we don't get any water or any stuff like that. But I might just get a toothbrush and start cleaning it by hand, because I really want everything to be clean. I like to have clean things, and just when I'm doing all this stuff, I like to have it clean stuff, because you can see there's lots of carbon buildup in there. And then this right here is where the fuel injector sits in there, so you want to make sure all that's clean and stuff. So that's the update, guys. I probably won't update you guys until I send in the head to the machine shop, or once I get it back, who knows. But this will be one of our last video for the update until something happens. During the meantime, I'm just gonna be cleaning stuff and, you know, all that stuff I'm not gonna document, but you guys know the drill. Clean, clean, clean. Once I finish cleaning, if we're still waiting on parts and stuff, I might go and rebuild my front axle on the driver's side, because it started leaking oil. So I was gonna do that this weekend if I didn't have a blown head gasket, but head gasket blew, so now we're taking care of this big jobs. But I'll have to tackle my front axle seal. Just a quick stuff about the front axle seal. I rebuilt them about 2,000 plus miles ago. I used the Marlin Crawler axle seals, and I read online that those are not good for Land Cruiser because we have full-time all-wheel drive. So I went ahead and ordered new OEM axle seal, and that's what I'm gonna use. But it's weird because only the driver's side is leaking and the passenger's side is not leaking. And when I bought the vehicle, the driver's side was the one that was leaking in the first place. So maybe, hopefully it's just the Marlin Crawler seal that's bad, or we might have another issue that's causing it to leak. So hopefully that's not the issue. But eventually I'm gonna go ahead and switch the axle seals to OEM Toyota. But that's another video to come. So that's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoy. If you guys got any questions, you guys can write in the comment section below, or you guys can follow my Instagram, NuttyNu_4x4, and stay up to date on this project. Peace out.